Hi there, Rick Lineker. I just need to clear up a few things that students have been asking and students have been maybe doing incorrectly. So let's start with how to format source code. The first thing is never have source code that's not indented. Okay, it just makes it too hard to read. So at the very least, hit the tab key and indent once. Now it's okay for the main program parts here to not be indented because that's where you start. So for instance, when you declare variables, make sure you indent them at least once. Okay, now let me go ahead and do an age example here where I ask them what their age is. What is your age? Scanf, %d, age. Now, here's an if statement. If age equals 16. Now note, everything is so far indented one level. But inside of an if statement, I need to indent an additional level. And if you'll notice, the editor does it for me. It knows that that's the way you need to do it. So printf, you are 16. So let's talk about this. Everything's indented at least one tab, and I use tabs, I don't use spaces. Okay, if you have an if statement, the stuff inside of an if statement is indented one additional level. And there are going to be cases where you'll have ifs within ifs. So if you have another one within here, then the stuff inside of this if is indented an additional tab. Okay, now let's go on down and talk about for loops. For I equals 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Inside of a for loop, you're going to indent one level. So there's a pattern. Anytime you have these open curlies, what comes past that has to be indented one additional level. Printf, the value is %d. Okay. Now, inside of the for, if you have an if I equals 5, oops, inside of that if, we're going to indent one additional level. Printf, the value is 5. Okay, so ask me questions on the blog about indenting, but when you indent correctly, it makes the program a lot easier to read and a lot easier to debug. And also, one more thing, you'll notice that these are always matching, and you can just look just vertically, and if you have done your tabs and indentions correctly, it is much, much easier to figure out what's wrong with your program. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and here I am in my projects directory. Okay, and this project was called Clear Stuff Up. You'll notice that's clearstuffup.ncb.sln.suo. Okay, those are not .cpp or .exe files. Some of you are sending me .sln files. This is the big mystery of life as to why that happens, but I suspect it's because you can't see the .sln. In order to see the file extensions, which you're going to have to do, in Vista or Windows 7, you can hit the Alt key, go up to Tools, Folder Options, View, and down here where it says Hide Extensions for Known File Types, make sure that is deselected. Okay, so there's nothing in here I want you to send me. Okay, but if you open up Clear Stuff Up, there you'll see a CPP file, clearstuffup.cpp, and normally under debug is where your exe is going to be. I don't think I built it, but normally it'll be either here, or if you back up a couple, it might be right here. So there's the exe. So you just have to find that exe. And if you don't have file extensions turned on, there is no way that you will be able to know what an exe is. Although if you look over here under type, it says application. And I want to tell you, I have had people on the adventure game now, they submitted twice in a row, they submitted the incorrect files to me. because, and it was just more like creative writing or whatever. So anyway, make sure you do that. And the one last thing I want to clear up here is, some of you have been sending me things with a .zipx extension, for instance, adventure game .zipx. I'm really not sure what program you're using to do that, or if you're mistyping or whatever. But don't send me a .zipx. I can't accept it anymore. It's actually a lot of extra work for me to go ahead and change it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I can read it, but there's no reason for you to have to give me extra work. Make sure it's always a .zip and not a .zipx, okay? And if you have any additional questions, go out to the blog, and I will do my very best to clear them up.